what we're obviously seeing from the president is narcissistic rage. If you don't know anything about narcissism, it could be very disordered. And the president is a narcissist, and I think he's probably, at this point, a disordered narcissist. If you are talking about how you identify someone with narcissist disorder, which is clinically defined, you're talking about someone who breaks the law in order to validate their narcissism. That being said, as an anarcho-capitalist, I'm not sure where my loyalties lie in this situation. My loyalties certainly don't lie with Joe Biden, Jim Crow Joe, who is pro every war there is. I'm not sure how you can you can criticize any of this that's going on in DC right now, while at the same time supporting such a warmonger like Joe Biden. I don't know. I think it's not the worst thing in the world if people, protest Congress in the Capitol building. We can literally slaughter wholesale people in the Middle East and get offended when congressmen have to run and hide from a few protesters. I'm not seeing where I should be awed into silence about this issue. The peaceful transition of power. That's a goal of democracy. But apparently mass murder is okay. But the curious thing about narcissism and narcissistic rage is you cannot, if you're in a relationship with a narcissist, you cannot leave them. They will, if you're a father, they will take your fatherhood away from you. If you're a mother, they'll take your motherhood. You cannot leave them. There has to be something wrong with you. And they will create it out of thin air. Like, for Trump, it's the elections were stolen. I don't think that's... I think Trump is so fucking unpopular that 11 million people decided to go out and vote that wouldn't have otherwise. I mean, Biden got 11 million more votes than Obama, and Obama was really popular. That does not mean that Biden is popular. Biden is not popular at all. Like, not many people like him or even know much about him because they voted for him and then they criticize people for the same reasons. But Biden won because Trump is unpopular, not because he is popular. Biden has no moral high ground. Democrats have no moral high ground. Not in any situation that's going on right now. So, as an anarcho-capitalist, what do I support? I don't support the government. I'm definitely not in support of anything they're doing at all. Rand Paul, I like you. Justin Mosh, I like you. Thomas Massey, I like you. But go fuck yourselves. I was in a conversation with a Trump supporting friend this morning, and he mentioned how Trump over the last year hasn't done well for the people. Like, he's given in to Dr. Fauci. He's allowed us to be locked down by governors. And as I think the only reason there isn't mass protests about all this medical fascism going on, and I really do consider it medical fascism, we have this police state that supports, and there's very little evidence on what they're doing. Like, lockdowns really don't help. And, like, there's all these disparate approaches to how we handle COVID, and there's no correlation between lockdowns and success as far as COVID. And I think it's much more dangerous to have a government that is able to lock us down than than it is to have COVID. It's far more dangerous for the government to have the power to lock us down than the mortality rate of COVID. First of all, people do not see the consequences of locking down. They don't see the suicides, the addiction overdoses, the rise in domestic violence, the marginal cancer patients who have their treatment disrupted, who die. They don't take those things into consideration. They just blindly accept that we should live our lives based on one thing, and that's to stop the spread of COVID. And since there's very little evidence that there's any stoppage of it, no, the thing is, even if there's evidence that locking down would stop the spread, we shouldn't lock down. We should let it spread. I said from the very beginning, let it proliferate. and advanced herd immunity without a vaccine. And I think that's what we should do. Still, I don't think I'm going to take the vaccine. I'd rather get COVID and chance it. One thing I did disagree with my friend about this morning is that he said social media companies should be reined in by the government. No, I think freedom is indivisible. There's this dude, he sent me a video, and this guy was complaining that social media wasn't reined in. I mean, he was both complaining that government fucking locks us down and that social media wasn't reined in by the government. And yeah, I'm pissed at social media. I don't like Facebook or Twitter right now, but they should not have any regulation whatsoever by the government. The government should butt the fuck out. Like, if you're supporting, if you don't like lockdowns, but you support the reining in of social media, no, I don't fucking get that. That makes no sense to me. You're dividing up liberty, and you're picking and choosing which ones you want based on the political opinions of who. It just makes no sense.